So like, and neck is it is HBCU. And then when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is it. I didn't know it was called neck. You know, that's another great thing about homecoming, guys. We're gonna tell you some stuff that I didn't know. I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this is just awesome that we found out the history of it. And there is a discrepancy of which HBCU it was, but the more research I do, it keeps going back to Norfolk State. And this original song was done by 1984's band named Cameo. And at first, I don't want to take any, don't want to take any recognition, but, in the article I read, it was founded by a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity who was in the band. Norfolk State, we call that PG, but it's also known as Pi Gamma chapter. And they found it actually playing the Battle of the Bands at Hampton. They call it the Battle of the Bay. And that's when Neck was first played because Tony, who was I believe he
Tony
played
Anderson.
the trumpet. Tony Anderson.
Played trombone.
Yes, so he played the trombone. I think he was the band major the next year. But then he said once they played it, then it blew up. I think the first was in. Some people say Southern, I believe.
No, Texas Southern University.
Texas Southern University.
Yeah,
there's a big debate. There's a big debate.
University, Ocean of Soul was the first to play, or if it was Norfolk,
like in the early '90s, right?
Yeah, and yeah, whatever. So here's what I'll say, because you can't really pinpoint it. I am inclined to believe Anthony or Tony Anderson's story because it had so much detail.
It has a lot of detail.
But I will say this. Certain ideas, you can be in two different places and y'all can have the same idea.
Yes.
That's the other thing that I'm thinking as well. Because that song, that Cameo song, it was played on the radio. Like other people probably heard it and was like, dang, this would be fire if we made it into a band version. So I think that's where the debate comes. Maybe they both had the same idea. Like it happens. All we know for sure is that it was founded at HBCU. It started at HBCUs, guys.
Yes, it did.
So my take on this, JT, I did my research, right? So I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? So
my bad. This song was Talking Outside of Your Neck by Cameo.
Yeah, Talking Out the Side of Your Neck.
Yeah, I'll be saying crazy stuff on here, guys. I'll be listening to the recording. I'll be like, what? Anyway, go ahead.
So...
I'll be like,
yes.
What?
Okay, so right. I'm just like, JT, come on, bro. But for people who don't know, it was first called NCAA, like college football. Really, Bill Walsh, because it was kind of Bill Walsh's college football, and it was the collegiate version of what Madden was at the time.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so that started off in 1993 when NCAA college football first came out. They only had FBS schools. And there was only the top 24 at the time. That first edition, top 24 FBS schools, and then top 24 like greatest schools of all our teams of all times.
Yes.
And that's all you had. As further versions were released, they started adding in more and more, Division 1A football teams, so FBS teams, until they had pretty much all of them. It wasn't until NCAA or college football 2000 where 24s, either 24 or 26 FCS schools, right? Which would encompass maybe HBCU schools, that was finally introduced into the game, right?